Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Modeling Time with me, Brian Banna. So, I got some stuff done. I haven't assembled anything yet, but I did get some design work done, and I want to talk about a few things. I got a quote back from PPD on the photo etch, so probably tomorrow they'll send me a link to make the payment, so I can get that going. So things are moving along. I got some design work done, and to show you a few of the things I did and the changes that I made on the draft gearbox and the buffer plate and all those kinds of things, and talk about a few other things. So let me get the camera set up so I don't just sit here blabbing away, and let's go to it. Okay, so I made a change to the draft gearbox. I don't know if you can pick it out here, but these two I just finished printing, so I wanted to show you those in a minute. This stuff over here you've already seen, so I'm just waiting to assemble all those things. I think I showed you this, the plow locator, so that basically just goes right up underneath here, but I have to take the draft gearbox out first before I do that because it sits up too high. So that's that. And so let's go over this stuff, and then I'll talk about a few other things, and you can look at what that is real quick. So what I decided, this was the original draft gearbox. Let me zoom in a little bit here. We can go over this stuff closer. All right, so this was the original draft gearbox, and it worked really well. And then I made like a first pass at the buffer plate here. See if I can get that into focus there. Just to make sure it fits. You know, I boxed it off. I wasn't ready to put all the detailing in. I just want to make sure it fits. And when I put it on there, I'm like, why is this thing fitting at an angle? Well, the reason it's fitting at an angle is because I had put these filler pieces in. And these filler pieces fill in the area that you see, the little rectangles, the L-shaped parts. The filler pieces filled in that area. So when I put this back on, it kind of put it at an angle. So when I put the buffer plate up against it, the buffer plate was sitting a little sideways. So I changed the draft gearbox, and I took that L shape off of it. So these are no good anymore. I can take and toss these in the trash because I will not be using them. And I went through a bunch of iterations of the buffer plate. So I won't be using those. I don't need them. That's all done. The buffer plate is all done, and I'll show you in a second. And then I decided, hey, why don't I try putting the buffer plate on the draft gearbox? So I went and designed and put the buffer plate on it, which is really cool because the way that this little notch up here is, let me get this thing here. This notch, as you can see on here, it fits. Let me get this thing to focus better. Get some light over here. There we go. It fits over the face of the pilot plate. So there's just enough room in this opening here that I can slip the draft gearbox and buffer plate through the opening from behind and then lock it up in place. So it works really, really well. So this was the first pass, and just to make sure everything fit good and stuff. I love seeing that little serial number or whatever, lot number, whatever that number represents on the side. That's cool. Anyway, so I did that, and then I put the Kato draft, or the Kato coupler box in it, and it wasn't working really well. There was too much play in the coupler box. So I designed a new coupler box, and so it's the same size as the Kato coupler box. It doesn't have the little detail on the front. Oh, geez, I can't. Gotta stay in camera here. There's usually a little detail on the front. I put them away, and I don't want to get up and get them. I don't need to. So I just squared this off so it's equal with the front of the buffer plate. So, and I made the hole, the coupler mounting hole, just big enough for a 080 screw to go through. That way there's no play in the box. And then you put the coupler in, and I don't have one out here right now, and then you just put the top on. And so it's basically the same size, and as you can see, it fits. Let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. As you can see, it fits real nicely right in there. So I've got all the detail on it and everything. That's what, and we go to this iteration right here, and it's got all the detail. You can see I got the L shape taken off the front there, and everything works. This coupler pocket, this little rounded buffer portion of it where the coupler would knock up against, it was a little too shallow. So and it made the coupler look like it sticks out too far. So that will be thrown away. This one will be this little coupler box will be thrown away. Don't need that. Don't need this anymore. That'll get thrown away. And this was the other one, so that one will get thrown away. And the mistake I made on this coupler box, the first coupler box, was I forgot that this lid fits inside the coupler box. So the back of the coupler box here is too long. It interferes with the box, the back of the box. So don't need that one. That one gets thrown away. So what I have left are these guys. So this is what they look like coming out of the printer after they've been cleaned and cured and stuff like that. And they come off pretty easy. So all I have to do is cut all these supports. You know, these supports break off pretty good. And just clean them up a little bit where the little support nubs are holding on to them there. And I made the edit to the coupler box lid so that it fits down inside of here real nicely. It's got this little recess in here so that it fits perfectly over the pin, and the lid locks on really, really nice. So that's what I've got going now. And again, like I've shown, you can see that the buffer plate and the draft gearbox fit up real nicely in there. So the edit I made to the little buffer part, the curved part, I just brought it out a little bit more, and you can see that the coupler doesn't look like it sticks out so far. Now this draft gearbox and the buffer plate, they're not exactly prototype. I don't have an RS11 to go visit that's handy. There is one at the Illinois Railway Museum, and if I ever get a chance to get up there again, I will definitely measure it up and stuff, as well as the fuel tank and a bunch of other things. But I think for right now, I think it looks fine. I've got the all the rounded cast look to it. I've got the boss on the side that has a hole in it here. Let me zoom in on that. Let's see if I can get this in focus here. There we go. So you can see the little circular boss right there. So it looks really good. I know it's probably a little too wide, but again, I'm not trying to be super duper prototype with this. I just want something that looks better than what was there. So that's what I got, and I think it's going to work out really, really well. Again, all this is going to be glued together. Even though I have it screwed in here, this is all going to be glued together. The only thing that won't be glued in, of course, is the coupler box. So that screw will always remain just a screw that I can remove. That way, if anything happens to the coupler, I can take it in and out and such. So that takes care of the draft gearbox. All done. The only thing I have left to do to the pilot plate is to cut these little nubs off where the MU hoses go and drill for new MU hoses. And then drill the holes for the plows. And that will take care of that. Again, waiting for the tread plate, so nothing's going to be done with this for a while. So I did a little experiment here. I'm sure you can see this. Let me get this all in focus. There we go. I printed out some stanchions. So that's what these are. Now, I had failures on the sides. I don't know why these sides wouldn't print, but the middle ones printed all the way. And also on the middle ones, there's an anomaly or something on them. All in the same place. There's like a line, indent line that's printed all the way around the stanchion. You wouldn't be able to see it in the camera. I can't even see it without OptiVisors on. Let me see. Yeah, it's right across the middle of the bottom vertical bolt. So I don't know what caused that. And I have no idea what caused these to stop printing along the outside edges. But they are pretty flexible. I mean, let's see what the break, how flexible they are to break. That's pretty good. It's still not broken. So that's pretty good. I think side to side, they're a bit more brittle. But if you were to put wire through these, I think they would work out really well. I really do. They're as tall as the, I basically used the kit or the model handrail, and I just measured it up. But instead of making the stanchions as thick as the models, I made them 15 thousandths, I think it was. 15 or 12 thousandths. Let me measure that real quick. I thought it was 12. I thought I made it 12. Let me see. Oh, 15. I made them 15. Now the real ones are 3/4 inch. So 3/4 inch and HO scale is what? 0.75 divided by 87.1. That would be 0.009. So I don't want to go that thin. I want a little bit of robustness to it. I might do this, just see if I can print a long row, one row right down the middle, because they actually look pretty good. I put the bolt heads on them and stuff. The only thing I have to do is I have to thin up the mounting tab on the bottom that goes in the holes into these holes. It's a little too heavy, so it's a really, really tough press fit to get them in there. So I might do that, because if I do put these stanchions on there, they'll be glued into the deck and stuff. So, and then I'll just use 15 thousandths. Actually, I was going to use 20 thousandths handrail. I mean, these are almost 30 thousandths. They're 29 thousandths. But I was thinking maybe I use maybe 20 thousandths over the. I think 15 thousandths would be the right size, but I like a little bit more robustness to them, and I don't mind a little bit oversized to them. So I don't know. We'll see. But I might use these, because all these handrails, they're all straight. There's no funky bends in them like an EMD second generation unit. So, but there is, I can slightly see it a little bit when I look down this handrail, that the handrail goes straight down like this, and as it comes up on this bend, it kind of bends out. It kind of goes out a little bit to get into the cab on the side there. So I don't know why it does that, but it does. I think it's just tweaked. I think it's just tweaked because everything's in line. And then this part here that goes into the door, I will just make a piece that looks like that bracket end there, that the railing just goes right into. But bending straight pieces of wire and doing this bend here and in, those are easy to do. So I might do that. The other one I have to do, I still have to design this stanchion, which is easy because it's basically this stanchion with just a angle support on it. So I can do that too. That'll be fine, because that's kind of cool. I think they look pretty neat like that. And if I do that, now the reason why I would prefer using this, because the other locomotives that I'll be working on are the Atlas Kato GP7s, and their handrails are this thick also. But GP7 handrails are like this. They're straight. There's no funky bends in them or anything like that. You just bend them down at the end and go right into the step well. At the cab, they just go right outside the face of the cab. So not really that much of a big deal. And it would be easy to make the GP7 stanchions because all it is a pipe fitting at the bottom and a pipe fitting at the top, and then you can just put a piece of wire, like brass wire, between them. So I could make the bottom fixture with a hole in it and the top fixture with a hole in it. So you got basically a T-hole, and you can put the wire through that and the wire through there, and then everything's pretty solid. So that would be kind of cool. We'll see when I get to the Jeep 7. And I still might play around with these some more. Now, the next thing, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, the next thing is I'm thinking about weathering. But every time I get to that point of weathering, I stop myself and I go, why do I want to do that? But we'll see about it. But anyway, what I'm doing is I've started designing these truck side frames in 3D. And this is the Kato RS2 truck. It's the same, almost the exact same truck side frame. The only difference is on the RS2 truck, it has better detail around the brake cylinder. They took the brake cylinder, they cut it off on the back here, and they made it like round over the top, so it looks better. So you actually have a brake cylinder, and where the arm, this arm here on the bottom of the truck comes into the journal, you have more detail as far as relief on that. So my idea is that if I can create this truck side frame with all the fixtures on the back, the pin and all of the protrusions and stuff like that, if I can recreate that properly, then I can put my brake cylinders on here, the ones that I designed, and it'll look really, really nice because it'll have all that relief, all that detail relief. And today I just learned how to do springs in the 3D printing or the 3D drawing program that I have, so I can do the springs. There's nothing on here I can't do. It's just making sure that I get the truck center or the wheel centers properly and get the reliefs properly. And I was thinking, how this is one solid piece here. I was thinking about doing it like the prototype where you have two plates. You got the inner plate and you have the outer plate and stuff. So those are things I'm looking at doing. If I do this, then I'll probably weather for sure because it'll have all that relief. It'll look really, really nice. And I like it a lot. So pretty much just design the truck. It'll pretty much look just like this, except it'll have individual brake cylinders up here and such. So, and then I can, make the journals whatever I want. I can go into the assembly mode and I can draw different journal caps and just put whatever I want on there and just get it all printed in one thing. So I can put real bolts on these two here, just make it look a little bit better with the brake cylinders. That's what I would need to do to push me into the weathering side, because these brake cylinders and these brake cylinders leave a lot to be desired when you see them weathered. So it's like, oh man, I don't know if I like that or not. So I'm working on it. We'll see. I got plenty of time while I'm waiting for the photo etch to come in. So I thought, hey, why don't I just try to design the truck side frame and make it fit just like they're supposed to on the Atlas gear towers. So we'll see. I'll keep you up to date on that and such. So because the other thing I was thinking of doing is like, okay, if I wanted to cut these brake cylinders off, there's a lot of rework that has to be done at the top of these where the frames, this U-shaped frame comes across. There's a lot of detail work that needs to be redone at that. And I was like, oh man, maybe I'll just redesign it myself and see if it works out. And then from there, it's just getting it at the right angle and all that to print it and see what happens. So I'll keep you up to date on that. But so far, moving right along. I mean, I know I'm going to have to take a little break while I'm waiting for the tread plate, but I still have to scrape this off. So this is easy to scrape off. You just take a number 11 blade and use a really sharp one, and you just go at an angle at it, and when you get it down to the level you need, just wet sand it all. Same with all of that, so that's no big deal there either. So I'm really excited about this. I'm not in a big hurry, but I kind of am. I know that sounds really weird, but it's just one of those things. So anyway, that's what's going on right now. So I'll keep you up to date on everything. All right, well, that takes care of this video. And like I just said, I'm not in a big hurry, but I'm really excited about this build. I'm really having loads of fun doing these, developing the detail parts for them, going through the iterations and getting it all dialed in so everything fits just right. So, but I do want to get these other. Once this one's done, the other 3 or 4 are going to go boom like that, because I'll have all of the research and all of the design and development all done for them, so I can just methodically just go right through them, print them when I need them, put them together, move on to the next. Now the what do they call that? The wrench in the gears will be the weathering, because I don't want to weather, but every time I think about how it will look when it's done, it just gets me really excited. But then I get ready to go do some weathering. I'm like, I really don't want to do that. so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. If I can get these truck side frames designed, we'll see what happens. So anyway, I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you watching this. And I will keep you all up to date on what's happening. And don't expect the next video to come really fast, because of pretty much what I'm waiting for is, again, the tread plate. Once that tread plate comes in, these videos are going to turn over pretty good. Now, if I can get the side frames designed, definitely I'll be doing another video to show you that stuff. So anyway, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it.